everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Fourtress of a podcast about movies, TV shows, video games, and lots of pop culture and nerd things. My name is Oscar B, one of your hosts today, and with me per usual, he is the dad. And the brawn is Alex. He is here. He is here.
Representing.
Yeah. How you doing,
Got
man?
the team back today.
Oh yeah. Yeah, listeners. So there's gonna be a little bit of a shorter episode this week while we're just kind of scrambling for stuff. We're all very tired. We're all very busy. So it's gonna be a little bit of a mini-sode, and we're just gonna catch up on some stuff. But as usual, check the time codes if you want to skip any sections or spoilers or anything like that. But with that, Alex, shall we move into our first / We're Trapped in a Fortress segment of the week?
News talk. It's the news talk.
It's the news. Yeah, we're doing a little bit of a news talk. We're gonna catch up on some news this week, little mini-sode. So let's get straight to it. First piece of news. We got our first official look of Geralt number 2, aka Liam Hemsworth, taking over.
I like Geralt number 2 versus 2.0. Like, is it an improvement? We're not sure.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, for the season 4 of The Witcher that's coming out at some point.
Wow, that's crazy. 4 seasons.
Look, I'll be honest. He looks fine. He looks fine. I don't think he looks that bad. He looks fine.
Yeah, I was expecting him. I mean, he looks like The Witcher. He might even look more like The Witcher than the previous actor.
He might in terms of.
I felt like he looked way too clean, and maybe the whole series just looks way too clean. But yeah, this guy looks like somebody who lives in that universe. He looks like Geralt. I'm not mad at him.
Yeah, he could work. Yeah. So I think look-wise, it'll be fine. We'll see what it actually looks like.
Yeah, sure.
When the show actually comes out and how it all works out. But yeah, we'll see. We already know that it's ending in season 5. They're gonna shoot 4 and 5 back to back, and that's the end of the show. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. But there, look at that. Good for him. Hope people. I haven't had any reactions to it, so I don't know if people are like, "This sucks" or not. But hopefully they're not.
Yeah, I mean the teaser is basically just him looking at the camera. So time will tell.
We'll see. Time will tell. All right. Next piece of news. This is about the Last of Us TV show. We know that they are currently filming season 2 of that show, which is presumably going to be based off of Last of Us Part 2 video game. And there's a little bit of a piece of casting, which I kind of forgot because this character. Well, I guess we'll say minor spoilers for The Last of Us Part 2. Jeffrey Wright has been cast as the character Isaac, whom he also played in the video game, which I totally forgot because that character I feel like is in like 3 scenes in that whole game.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot that's a person. But I would imagine that we might actually get maybe a little more of him in this TV show version.
Yeah, probably if it holds true to the Part 1 TV series where they kind of go more in depth. I'd imagine that they would show a lot of that backstory or some of his other choices, perhaps. But yeah, I'm excited. I remember that character being portrayed really, really well in the game, so that's cool.
Yeah, no, and he's a great actor. He's great. It's lovely to see him. I think I'm mostly excited about how the world reacts to this season of TV. That's what I think I'm going to be the most curious about, is just to see how that all goes down. You know?
What do you mean?
Just like, because obviously there was a big reaction to the video game when it came out, in the story beats and stuff.
Oh, sure.
And so I'm mostly curious just to see how the world of non-video gamers, just TV watchers, respond to some of the plot beats in that shit.
Yeah, I wonder if it's going to be equivalent time-wise and just going to be like 40 episodes.
Right.
With a presumable finale every 10 episodes.
Right. I'm excited though. They clearly knew that they had like a hit, and I was surprised that they were going into season 2 so quickly, and they weren't going to wait for some real life actors to age up again. But
yeah, true.
Yeah, it'll be. I'm still very excited.
Yeah, I can't wait. Next
piece of news. This is about Giancarlo Esposito joining the MCU, which we had heard that he was. This was reported by Cinema Blend. He said, "No one will guess what character he's playing, and, end quote, there will be a series, end quote, with his character in the future." So one, I'm like, oh no.
That's a crazy quote. Now
I'm like, a TV show based off a character that you're playing. This is giving me a lot of like Secret Invasion, not very good 6-episode series, and I'm worried now. I'm like, who could it be playing that they're giving him a TV show?
Yeah.
Because like I think when we were guessing before on an episode, I don't know if you were there, and we were like, what if he's a Kang replacement, or what if he's like Galactus? Which obviously we know he's not Galactus because they casted Galactus now. But either way, those characters don't need a series. So I'm like, who gets a series that he's playing?
I could see a Kang replacement. I could also see a series. But the way he's like so bold as to say you'll never guess, like he's either trolling the fans or it's like not that hard, not that deep.
Right. Because we know, like in the past, he's said how he wants to be Professor X really badly. I doubt he's Professor X.
Oh shit, that would be wild.
That would be wild. I doubt he's Professor X, but
I could see that one
again because also, why would that character have a series unless he's talking about an X-Men series? In which case, I don't want that. That's weird.
Let's vote for that. Let's do that one, guys. that sounds way better than anything I was imagining. I'm not gonna lie.
But I don't know. We'll see. I'm excited to see him. Obviously, we know he's a great actor. He's in the fucking. He was in Breaking Bad. He's in The Boys. He's very good. He's got the gravitas. But yeah, I'm excited to see what kind of character he would play. And Mandalorian. I forgot he's also in that. Yeah.
Does he always play a villain? I haven't seen him in The Boys. He's a villain in Mandalorian. He's the I forget the guy's name, but he's the bad guy.
Chicken guy.
The chicken guy in Breaking Bad. Who's he in Boys?
He is kind of like an executive who he doesn't have any powers. He's like he's the leader of the company that all the bad superheroes work for and represent. He's kind of a villain, but he also is like an antagonist to the main antagonist of the show as well, the evil superhero.
Oh, okay.
He's kind of an antagonist to him as well.
Sounds like a bad guy.
He's not the best person. Yeah, he's a suit. So yeah, he's a bad guy.
Terrible guy. It would be cool to see him play Professor X,
it would be
the good guy's good guy. Like that'd be wild.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool to see him do it. And he could do it. He could definitely do it. But yeah, it would be. We'll see. I'm excited. I don't know. All right, let's move on now to continue the news. But to do that, we have to hit into the trailer park. So let's do it. Cue the sound bit of Brian or Devin. I don't remember who's who. Let's go.
It's not me.
Mob's Pacetti.
All right. Our first trailer today I think this might have come out way early last week. We just didn't talk about it. I don't remember. But it is another like MCU tie-in type of thing. It is for a what if an immersive story. It's a video game, but it tells like a what if story. So it's like the watcher comes to you and says, yeah, you got to save the world, blah, 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 blah. But it's and this is where it gets shitty. It's a fucking, what is it? Apple
Vision
Pro.
You think that's a bad
exclusive
thing?
Well, in the sense that 90% of the world will never play.
This is
80% or whatever.
That's very true.
We'll watch it on YouTube.
I feel like even the majority of people that have Apple Vision won't really, really care about.
That's what I'm saying.
Marvel. They'll just be like, oh, I guess maybe I'll play this interesting video game on my Pro. Sure. But
exactly.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, I do not have an Apple Vision. I have no plans to getting one in the foreseeable future. But this does sound very cool.
Yeah, I'm
a big fan of augmented reality and virtual reality. And I did get to try a friend of mine or a colleague at work. He brought his Vision Pro to work one day and let me test it out and just to like play around with it. And I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty freaking cool. And I could see the technological potential in it, and just the cool gimmicky factor. Like it's just a cool piece of tech to like watch movies or
right
do Photoshop editing stuff. I didn't really even think about video games, but it kind of is like until I saw this trailer, it kind of is the ultimate video game virtual reality console, because you don't have anything in your hand. It literally tracks your eyeballs. So if you're playing if you're playing like a shooter game or something where you need to have like pinpoint accuracy, you don't have to
Mhm.
worry about like a Wii remote and like aiming a
Right.
reticle. You just look where you want to
That's pretty
like
nuts.
focus on. It's really crazy stuff,
Wow.
and I'm surprised that they
Huh.
haven't like been talking about more video games. And I'm surprised I didn't even
Right.
think about video games when I was like first hearing about the tech. But I
Right.
think that's a really smart market for them.
Yeah, I wonder how it all works in this space. That's so interesting.
Yeah. When I was testing it or with my friend or whatever, it's basically
Uh-huh.
like a desktop computer, but instead of having a mouse to click on things, you just move your eyeballs where you want to. Like if you want to go to Safari, you just look at the Safari icon, and
How
then
do you type stuff?
and you
You
pinch
still have to.
your fingers to like click or select, and to type you
Oh,
can
that's
you can
so.
you can pull out a
You pull up
virtual
like a
keyboard,
virtual keyboard.
and
That's
you can
great.
literally type. It's kind of you kind of have to want to type with like one finger in each hand. I
Uh-huh.
mean, you could probably practice, but
Right.
I
But it'd be a
think
little
if
weird.
you're sending more than just like a casual text message, you would just pull out like a wireless keypad
I see.
and just
Yeah,
have
makes
that next
sense.
to you. It's basically just like a monitor, like a giant monitor with extra features that can
Yeah.
go with you anywhere.
That's Minority Report. That's what we've all been waiting for.
Yeah, totally. Yes.
Just like looking with your eyes and it knows what yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy. The tech that the tech that we have that it's not say exactly accessible to everyone in the world. But the tech that is coming up like stuff like that is nuts. And when it gets to a point where the people in mass can actually use it, that's I think when a lot of cool experimental stuff will start happening. But again, I think it's like it's baby steps because it's like who are they developing this for? Because how many people have these? You know what I mean?
I don't even know who this like their ideal person this is for. I guess like the
Right.
the video editor, the creative tech person that has like a bazillion dollars, like my friend.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know how like he can justify paying for something like that. I'm just like that's like
Yeah.
because you have to have like a somewhat
Mac
up to date
as well,
Mac
right?
also. Yeah, so it's basically like
Yeah.
buying another Mac.
Yeah.
Something that's crazy.
Yeah. That's yeah. But look, no, that does look cool. Like they show a little bit like you get some like Doctor Strangey type of spell casting in this, blah blah blah.
Looks
I would
fun.
imagine this is probably not going to be very long, but even in with that, it still looks pretty cool. And speaking of Jeffrey Wright, it sounds like he's also still doing the voice of the Watcher in this, which is
Sweet.
funny.
I didn't even think
It
about
sounds
that.
like him. It's definitely not Wong. That where Wong pops up at the beginning of the trailer. That is definitely not Wong.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's very cool. And like I bet Marvel's probably gonna be like, yeah, this is a canon story because it'll make people
Right.
really be like, oh yeah. At least from my memory, I guess if that's the case, this from what I can remember, this would mark the first time where you as a human can technically say you're a part of the MCU. Because I don't think you're playing you. I don't think you're playing like a character. You're playing this first person. You know what I mean? And I think nerds will be flocked to that.
Very
blogs about that.
Very Command and Conquer-esque. Neat.
Yeah, very cool. Very cool. Unless someone will put it on YouTube and I'll see how it works.
Nice.
I'll pull a Devin. Next piece of Trailer Park News. It is for Call of Duty Black Ops 6. It's a teaser. Now we don't really talk about Call of Duty much on here because, you know, it's Call of Duty. It's kind of the same most of the time, every time it comes out. But the big thing about this one is that Microsoft did confirm that it is going to be a day one Xbox Game Pass game, which means, I mean, this is why they bought Activision in the first place. They wanted Call of Duty. My biggest question is, how much money are they going to lose by doing this? And like, it's still crazy that because Call of Duty makes billions of millions and billions of dollars, and that is, I would imagine that's not going to be the case when half of the people playing it, especially if it's going to be exclusive, which I don't think it is. I'm pretty sure it's not going to be exclusive. I think they lost that lawsuit in court or whatever, that they can't. They said it's going to be on PlayStation still. I can't remember, but I would imagine like it can't nearly make the same amount of money when everyone's getting it for free.
Yeah, for sure.
Through this Game Pass.
So other other Call of Duty games weren't ever on Game Pass?
No, because they didn't own Activision before.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Not like this. They like where it's like the day it comes out, you can get it, quote unquote, for free with this $12,
Yeah, for
$20
sure.
subscription or whatever. But
Well,
yeah,
maybe even hopefully this will be the beginning of the end for Call of Duty. I wouldn't be mad at that. They had a good time. You know, it's time for us to move on as a people.
They had a good run. Yeah. I guess the game it looks like it's about Desert Storm or something. It's in the 90s, I think. You see Bill Clinton, you see George H.W. Bush, you see yeah, cool. It's gonna be Call of Duty. It's gonna be Call of Duty in the sand again. Very none. But yeah, that'll be interesting. We'll see how that pans out for them. Also, I have a love-hate thing when movies and or video games do this, where the Black Ops franchise was originally, I'm pretty sure, maybe 2 wasn't. It's gone back and forth between numbers and Roman numerals a million times, and it's so hilariously annoying.
That's funny.
Because I don't even think the last one was called 5. I think the last one was literally just called Black Ops Cold War, and now they're at Black Ops 6. So there's literally no 5, which is hilarious. And it's a thing that I feel like we've always joked about with like movies or whatever, and they actually did it.
That's great. That's so funny.
Oh, it's so funny. That's what happens when you have a franchise that's like a decade and a half old or whatever.
Yeah, they just can't keep up. They're just like, what did we do last year? I don't know. Let's just make something new.
It's pretty, yeah. All right, let's now move on to our final trailer for the week. This one is for Beetlejuice. Alex, were you a fan of this original movie as a child?
Oh yeah. I mean, I think so. I'm definitely a fan now. I've rewatched it a couple of times as a young adult and a new adult. Like last time I watched it was maybe 2 years ago. Still holds up. I don't remember how I felt watching as a kid, but I know I watched it a couple of times and it just being like a really interesting, weird vibe. But yeah, it's
I definitely hated
very
it
fun
as a child.
Oh, okay.
It was too scary. It was too scary.
It is a spooky one for the kids. Yeah,
it's a spooky movie. Now, no, because now it's like, oh, now I see that's Michael Keaton. I see that's Batman. Okay, it's less scary now. I know who this strange man is. But look, I will say this movie, this could be good. I mean, it's obvious. It's doing all the things the original did. We'll see. I like that Willem Dafoe is in it because he's already a goblin.
He's already scary.
He's already scary without anything.
I'm excited. I'm excited for sure. I think casting is looking good, bringing back a lot of the same original people. Mm-hmm. And
how do you feel about
what's her name?
Having Jenny Ortega just being the same thing again?
I mean, it's not surprising. It kind of is a perfect fit, but I was a little bit annoyed in the trailer when they were like, Jenny Ortega, don't say Beetlejuice. And of course, Jenny Ortega's gonna say Beetlejuice. Like of course she is. Like don't tell her the plot points of what's going to happen because she's going to do the opposite.
Exactly.
So it's kind of an eye roll moment, but like, who else would you like if you didn't put her in the movie? Like you'd be doing a disservice to yourself.
That's true. Yeah, and yeah, this could be a lot of fun. I like they even did like the whole like what is it, like claymation stop motion little bits with those big weird worms in the desert or whatever type of thing.
I mean the original had a fair bit of claymation stuff. I think it's Tim Burton, right? So he loves that stuff. Yeah. So yeah, it looked like they kept. I mean, they could have easily just done a CG situation,
right?
And they could have. I mean, it might still be CG to make it look like stop motion, but I like to believe that they stuck to the true art form for the film, since he's a big stop motion person.
Yeah, I agree. But yeah, could be fun. I'm looking. I don't know if unless I hear it's amazing, I don't know if I'll check this out in theaters unless there's nothing else to do and I have time to do it. I still haven't even seen like other movies that I actually want to see, let alone a movie that I'm just like, cool.
Yeah, that's fair. I'll definitely watch it at some point. I don't know if it'll be in theaters. I'm lucky to go to the theaters once a year at this point, though.
It's true. I was about to say you didn't waste it. You used it on Dune 2, and that was a good move.
Yeah, that was. I saw Barbie, and then I saw Dune 1 and 2. So who knows what's next? Probably Dune 3 whenever that comes out.
Oh, that's funny. All right, that is the news, listeners, and that is our Fortress of main topic, little news talk catch up. So that means, Alex, it is time to move into our final segment of the week, my man.
Let's get it.
Which we like to call Free for All, title pending, listeners. This is a segment where we can kind of do whatever we want. We can talk about our day, talk about life, fight, rant, nap. It is free for all. Alex, you got anything for us?
I got some banging news.
Ooh, okay.
I don't know if the fans know, but I have a daughter. She's amazing.
Yes.
And she just turned 2 this past weekend.
Oh,
we
yeah.
had a 2-year-old toddler birthday party out here in Brooklyn in Prospect Park. And it was awesome. It was a rager, and it was an epic balls to the wall party. We had balls, we had a bounce ball, we had the ball pit, we had the blocks, we had some cake, bunch of food, and Cleo and all her little best friends in the neighborhood were there. It was a great time. A lot of our friends came out. It was a blast. Yeah, we had a really good time. Cleo had an amazing time. We all sang happy birthday, and she got really embarrassed, and it was very, very cute.
I was about to say.
Yeah, it was perfect. It went off without a hitch, and
that's great. Good weather.
It was perfect weather. Like I took a step back and I was like, damn, like this weather really turned out, because it was a beautiful sunny day, not too hot, not too cold, beautiful breeze. It was just the most lovely experience. It's very,
nice.
very, very sweet.
Yeah. That's fucking great. That's fucking great. I can't believe she's 2. That's crazy.
I know.
Time flies.
It's wild.
Time flies. Yeah. Oh boy. Nuts. That's awesome. Well, for me, I'll just quickly talk about something I watched, because I had no time really. But I don't know, and also because I don't know if we're actually going to have time to talk about it on the podcast. So I'll give a little bit into it and save some if we actually do. But I watched the Tales of the Jedi series on Disney Plus.
Oh,
the
right.
Star Wars.
Wow.
It's kind of a spin-off. They did or sorry, Tales of the Empire. They did Tales of the Jedi last year. I want to say, or maybe 2 years ago. I don't remember. And now they did Tales of the Empire for this May the 4th. So it came out a couple weeks ago. And I just finally had time to watch it. It's only like an hour and a half total, because it's 6 episodes and they're each about 15 minutes. So it's not too bad. It's 2 story arcs, 1 per 3 episodes. The first 3 episodes being about what's her name? Man, I wish I remember what her name is. You watched Ahsoka, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember the Night Sister witch that dies at the end that Ahsoka kills? She's
Megan Morgan. Or some basic
Morgan.
Name.
Yeah, I was like, it's some
why
normal.
Is her name Morgan?
That's what I'm saying.
Why?
I don't know. That's why I couldn't remember it, because it wasn't like bleep or blah blah blah. It was just Morgan. I was like, that's a normal ass name.
Yeah, I never remember people's names in films. I guess Star Wars might be the exception, because those characters are just so remarkable. But something about Morgan just really pissed me off that I couldn't unremember it.
Well, it's because you have characters like Grand Admiral Thrawn, and then who's to his left? Morgan.
Jesus.
But yeah, so the first 3 episodes were about her. It's a little origin story of her. And how
nice.
like
I am curious about her. That's cool.
Yeah, it's the weaker of the 3 personally. I didn't think they were all that interesting. All right, so I will say no spoilers, listeners, don't worry about that. But I think the Tales of the Jedi one was better, with the Ahsoka and Count Dooku stories. I thought those were better than these ones. But this Morgan story 3 episode arc was the weakest out of everything that they've done so far. I just didn't think, again, I don't think she was super, super interesting. I didn't think it was that interesting of a story or as her character. I see what they're trying to do and develop her a little more. But it just, by the end, I was like, okay, that was fine. We see her, like, some tragedy happens. She turns to the Empire, and then we see when she meets Thrawn, blah, blah, blah. Nothing surprising really in that. But the second story arc is about a character named Barriss Offee, who was in the Clone Wars series, as she was a young Jedi around like Ahsoka's age, I believe. And spoilers for the Clone Wars series.
Was that the lady the lady that is like painted white? Maybe she's not painted. She just like has very, very light skin. She looks white, bald.
No.
Okay, I'm tripping. She's in the animated
I think
series.
she's like,
I don't know what her name was.
She's like green. No, you're thinking. Oh, I know you're thinking of. No, it's not her. Not her.
I know the green chick.
This is a much more minor character than that one. But she so in the Clone Wars spoilers, she kind of betrays the Jedi and a Ahsoka character. I can't remember all the details, but eventually she ends up being like sentenced to life in prison, basically for her crimes against.
Right, I remember that
the Republic. And that's kind of what started Ahsoka down her leaving the Jedi Order by the end of that show. But anyway, so it's about her post Clone Wars. So it's about her.
Okay.
Yeah, like joining the Sith. You see this stuff in the trailer, so it's not a spoiler. Like she becomes an Inquisitor, like of Darth Vader's, blah 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 blah. And then there's like other things that happen. Cool redemption, how the story goes. But I'll say these 3 episodes I thought was actually very, very good, and a Videl character that I didn't really care anything about, like the Morgan one, but this in a way that I really enjoyed. Actually, I thought these 3 episodes were actually really good and quite cool, and a lot of. I mean, obviously, the Star Wars animation has exceeded so much in the past couple of years. It looks so good still. And this one's no exception. Like they all look so good, and there's some very cool, visually stunning moments in these episodes. And by the end, I was like, oh, like this is how I know when it works. Like by the end, I was like, oh, damn, I could see more with that character. I want to see more of what happened in this character's life. So I was like, okay, then I think they succeeded in that for me at least.
Nice, yeah.
So yeah, it was pretty cool. Again, it's a decent. It's only an hour and a half, so it's not like a big time commitment. I literally watched it in one sitting. I was like, okay, I have time to watch this now. But yeah, so and I would love to see them continue doing these little short form storytelling things. I love stuff like this.
Yeah, what's the next Tales of Droids? Yeah. Maybe Tales of Droids.
I was like Tales of the Droids. Droid rights. Maybe it's all about droid rights because we know the Mandalorian does not give a shit about droids.
Oh yeah,
maybe
for
it's
sure.
Droid revolution. Yeah, I don't know if they'll go back to maybe do a Tales of the Jedi 2 or what, but yeah, I would love to see them continue to do this. I bet you they'll do like a Tales of the Outer Rim, and it's about like gangsters and Muppets or some shit. I don't know.
Solid to get Muppets. What?
I don't know, but no, it's fine. It's fine. I would say check it out, listeners. And that's me. And as usual, shout out to God of Ragnarok. I still have not yet platinumed Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, so it doesn't get the spot yet. But that's because I don't think I've played that game in a month, and I'm upset because I have 1 trophy left. I just need to beat it on hard mode.
Wow.
I'm so close.
Wow.
I'm so close. And I'll do that one day when I have
one day.
One day I'll get it. But that's our show, listeners. That is it. We've done it once again, Minisode style. We actually did a Minisode. Congrats to us. But as usual, listeners, feel free to email us at thefortress@gmail.com. Fortress spelled F-O-U-R. Fortress spelled F-O-U-R, yeah. Email us any feedback, recommendations, suggestions, whatever you want. Check us out there. Follow us on Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram at The Fourtress of. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your grandma, tell your cat. Follow the 3 Bollywood R's. Rate, review, recommend us to anyone and everyone you know. Thank you, Alex, for the music. Thank you, Brian, for the art. And Devin, thank you for being here, even when you're not here. And thank you, Jackie, for helping edit the podcast every week. You can find Alex at Peterson Films, Brian at ITZ_, by the way, and Devin, we still don't know where he is. He's alive, but we don't know.
He's somewhere. I literally don't know where he is. He texted us saying he was on his way back from somewhere.
Well, we don't know back from where.
I was like, where? Am I supposed to know where you are?
He said, yeah. I don't know what that means.
It didn't sound like work. I know that much.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Also, yeah, because I'm pretty sure he works from home, so it's not work.
He's I'm not going to make it. I'm on the way back. What does that mean?
All right, Devin. We love you, Devin. Next week, listeners, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe we'll talk about Furiosa. Maybe we won't. Maybe we'll talk about Fury Road. Maybe we'll do a cool little old school Fury Road talk. Who knows?
Throwback
or maybe
Thursday.
We'll talk about some video games. We got some things cooking that we'll talk about because we've hit a point where we got like a lot. We got a couple weeks of nothing coming out, nothing new. Which thank God I'm exhausted. But it means we can do some other stuff, some other fun things. And as usual, listeners, happy holidays and put a coat on. It is cold out there.
Oh yeah.
And we'll see you here next week on another episode in the Fourtress of